Shalom, God bless you. Welcome to the leadership class, part 1. This program will help someone who aspires to become a leader. It is not only for those who are in church leadership, but anyone who aspires to become a leader. Today, I would like to share with you very important notes. Before we expect people to follow you, before we expect you to lead a group, you must be able to prove leadership at a personal level. That's why you find out in the book of 1 Timothy 3, as well as in the book of Titus, Paul mentions that anybody who aspires to become a leader in the church must first be a husband of one wife. Why did he say that? Before we can expect you to lead a congregation, you must be able to prove values at a personal level. So I'm going to share with you very important notes on personal levels. So for you to be able to lead others, you have to prove to be a leader at a personal level. Personal capacity. So there are 3 things that I'll mention first, which are key in proving one to be able to lead others by personal qualities. Number 1, you are supposed to be a person who has self-control. It's very important for a leader to exercise self-control. Number 2, a leader must be able to exercise self-discipline. Self-discipline. It's quite unfortunate that a lot of times people expect others to be disciplined without themselves being disciplined. When you do not have self-discipline as a leader, at the end of the day, you will abuse others in the name of discipline. Because discipline has to be a value that is rooted inside of you. Okay? Number 3, self-respect. Respect does not, the principles or values of respect do not begin with others. It begins with you. You must be a person who exercises self-respect. Because, you see, respect is not demanded. Respect should be something that is earned. And how do you earn it? It is through proving value within yourself, which is worthy of respect. So self-respect has roots that are deep inside of you, that when others see you, they can give you the respect that you deserve, which comes from within your own principles. So a leader who does not exercise self-respect, we cannot expect such a person to respect others, because it is a value that is rooted within oneself. Okay? Personal leadership can be manifested. If I say manifested, it means it's something that we can see. It's something that we can see from the physical side of a person. So a leader who has self-control, who has self-discipline, who has self-respect, we can see it physically. Even the way the person dresses. The person dresses. It's very important. Unfortunately, in this generation, we no longer take dressing as very important, especially for the house of God. Dressing is very important. As a woman who leads other women, you cannot come in church naked. You cannot come in church not dressed well. And at the end of the day, how are you going to lead a congregation? How are you going to lead a group of people without yourself knowing how to dress? Even those who are in the world, if you go to meet a president, there is an etiquette. There's an etiquette. There's a way they dress. There's a way they dress. You cannot go into a meeting with a president without dressing yourself or adorning yourself in a way that is fit. If it is something that they exercise in the world, why would it not be exercised in the house of God? So leadership at a personal level can be reviewed physically. The hairstyles that we put on. I come into the house of God putting on a mohawk. Yes. There are haircuts that are worldly. And there are haircuts that are modest. Including hairstyles for women. There are hairstyles that are modest also, that are fitting for a leader. So before we talk of a leader who can be able to lead others, are you able to prove it physically? Secondly, to prove it mentally. If we say mentally, we are saying a leader must not have bad habits or a person of a negative mindset. Yeah? Something that is positive, you go trivial. Drama before it comes to pass. So a leader must prove to be mentally stable. Yes, exercise yourself mentally to prove yourself that you are stable mentally. When you look at a leader who proves to be a good quality leader, must not have bad habits. Very bad habits. For example, watching programs that are not fit, that corrupts mind. You know, there are things that can be consumed by a leader that can corrupt his mind. He must guard against bad habits, okay, that corrupt the mindset. A leader must have discipline spiritually. Spiritual discipline is expected from a leader. A leader must have spiritual discipline. A leader must have time to pray, to enhance his spirit. Time to pray, setting apart time to pray. And at the same time, time to fast. A leader must not only wait for the apostle or the prophet or a leader in the church to announce fasting, that a leader can be able to fast. A leader must be a person who understands these principles personally, with a personal drive to set apart time to pray, a personal drive to set apart time to fast. Okay? Personal devotions. Very important. How can we expect a leader to be able to come earlier than others on a Sunday to lead devotions when that leader has no devotion within himself, has no personal devotion times? A person who has personal devotion time can be able to show devotion in the work of God itself. Very important. A leader must have discipline spiritually, must have time to study the word, must have time to study the word. Not only wait for Bible study time at church or only on a Wednesday in church. A leader must be able to study the word by himself, and can also be able to ask others to put more light on the word that is studying, including church leadership, the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, or whosoever might be within the rank. Okay? A leader must prove himself to be a very good listener. It's very important to take time to listen to others than just talk. It's very important. So a leader, in other words, we are saying, must have a teachable spirit. You see, a cup that is full cannot be able to accommodate more. So the attitude of a leader must be someone who takes himself as empty. You cannot be able to listen unless you treat yourself to be someone who is empty, who needs to be able to receive. So sometimes when you are full of yourself, you cannot be able to accommodate others. Blessed are those who are thirsty and hungry, for they shall be filled. This is the attitude that Jesus Christ speaks about in Matthew chapter 5. It is blessed to be thirsty, to be hungry, for you to be filled. But if you are filled already, you have no vacancy. So leadership has to be proven at a personal level. I thank you. God bless you.